I'm very excited to meet y'all. My name is Chandra Manny Vannon, and it is my honor to be your Miss Raleigh 2022 to 2023. And Miss North Carolina is happening in High Point in 2 weeks, which I'm also very excited about and preparing for. And my social impact initiative for Miss North Carolina is Selena, which I envision to be an online platform for survivors of intimate partner violence, including financial services and safety planning tools. So I'm so excited to connect with you all, and I would especially love to thank Deborah for welcoming me and introducing me to y'all's family. So without further ado, I'm just so excited to be here. Thank you.
And now I'd like to call Bob Herrick up, and he's going to lead us in our opening prayer. Bob and Herrick have been staunch supporters of HCI for quite some time now. And Bob is the owner of Herrick Engineering. They strongly support families by participating in the North Carolina Family Policy Council. Thank you, Bob, and Ann, for your loyal support.
Thank you. He's a little taller than I am. I like stories. Most people do. And I'm going to start by saying this is a story about a country that has had a very, very bad time. Their morality went to the floor. They hated each other. It was awful, and they were supposed to be God's people. And God said, "No, you missed the point." Oh, okay. I guess we did miss the point. And they had a great revival. And they said, "Got a revival. Now what are we going to do? Should we build a little chapel or something?" So, but there was a prophet by the name of Micah who wrote about what went on when that happened. And what he said was, here, what God has the message for us. I want you to realize that God has showed you God's what is good and what does the Lord require of you, but to do justice and to love kindness and to walk humbly with your God. This country is that kind of mess, and I think we're looking forward to that kind of turnaround on it. So let's pray together. We thank you, Lord, for the people that are here, for the work that you're doing here, and for the peace and the wholeness that has developed from it. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Bob, and Ann, especially for your support. And Deborah, I'm going to turn it over to you. This is all you. I just gotta love this woman. You know, I've never seen anybody as driven and such a big heart as Deborah. And you know, I've tried to quit the board now for several years, and she just won't let me. and she stuck with me. But all you.
Thank you, Greg. He is my board chair, and he has mentioned quitting several times, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't let you do that. His favorite word is no, and believe it or not, I need that on the board. I need a no, and I need somebody to question things so that we really have good discussion and make good decisions, and we see the whole picture. So it's not all about just having yes people around you. It's about people who challenge you to grow. So that's always good. So we are here. And I'm so glad all of you are here. And thank you, Chandra, for that. And I look forward to connecting because your platform with what we do would be a great partnership. So I think I'm going to take this out because I can't see the presentation. Oops. Did I do something to it? Is it good? Okay. All right. So our sponsors tonight, We have 2 table sponsors, Win Jam Realty. They couldn't be here. They had a graduation out of town, but they paid for a table. And then Carroll Pharmacy and Believe Builders. So they're sponsors. You can go next. And then this is our board. So you met our board chair, Greg. And then we have Evelyn. Are you here? Oh, she's back there. And she's our treasurer, so she's tallying up all the silent auction stuff for us. And then, whoops. And then we have Diane Hoffmeister, who had a child who had a wedding this weekend. And then we have Margie, who moved to Texas, but she's still a virtual member. And then we have Susie, who also could not be here tonight. But anyway, a lot of people, we postponed last year till Christmas because of COVID. Normally we have this event in late March. So, but we didn't want to have it in late March this year, right after having Christmas. So we had it in June. So a lot of people had plans. So we thank you guys for coming and showing your support. We really do appreciate it. And we really need it. All right. We do have an advisory board. And a lot of these people we rely on heavily for advice, business advice. Nell Ban is our accountant, and she also bought several tickets for sponsored victims. And if she didn't do the accounting for us, I could not be here where I am. And Jeff Barnhill is our webmaster. I send him updates all the time, any of us, for the email accounts, for everything. He updates things within 5 minutes, and he's a volunteer. So we just thank them. I just want to thank them. Next. We have multiple partners. So one of our partners is Horizon Integrated Wellness, and with Dr. Mary Affey. We'll hear from her in just a minute. And Dress for Success, we send people there. They can take classes, they can get clothing, and they help them find jobs. Green Chair Project is how we furnish the victims' houses once we get them into a place. Alliance of AIDS in Carolina, that is a really good resource, especially for people in addiction. If they have Hep C or HIV or anything, and they don't want anyone to know, they can go there privately and get tested for free. And then Mending the Soul is an organization, the curriculum we use for our abuse recovery, which has had fabulous results. And you're going to hear some of their stories tonight. And then the State Employees Combined Campaign. If you are a state employee and you donate, if you donate 25, they match it. So you're giving us 50. So that if you're a state employee, please sign up for something, even if it's $10. Several people at the last gala signed up for $10 a month. You may not think that's a lot. That is a lot. It helps because every little bit you're buying a gas card for somebody, and right now we could use that, right? Okay, so next one. This is the Green Chair Project. We used to go shop in person before COVID. Now what they've done is they have packages online. You can go to the next one. And this is one of the apartments that we furnished. I won't say whose. Next one. And that's the State Employees Credit Union. The 3939, that's our number. So if you are a state employee, if you give them that number, that's how you match the donation. Okay, next. Our mission statement, we're a multifaceted recovery and prevention center that connects with organizations worldwide to empower survivors of abuse and addiction. So we have free support groups and classes, education, tailored solutions. We're not a cookie cutter nonprofit. A lot of nonprofits will say, we'll help you twice in a year, and that's it. Or we'll do, you know, they have certain things they do, and that's it. What we do is we see each person individually, and we find out what do they need, what obstacles do they need to overcome, and then we help them overcome it. It might take 1 month, it might take 3 years, depending what they have to overcome. So we stay with them the long term. We've had women that we've helped, they've gotten on their feet. A year later, they lose a job, they come back to us, hey, can you help me again? And we take them back on and say, yes, we'll help you get back on your feet again. So it's not just a one-time help. So a lot of people don't understand the need for that. I think some of the stories you hear tonight, you're gonna understand why we need long-term support for people that's ongoing, that's not, that we just don't help them once or twice and kick them out there and we don't know what happened to them. All right, next. Why do we exist? These are just some statistics. On average, nearly 20 people per minute are physically abused. 1 out of 3 women and 1 out of 4 men will experience physical violence sometime in their lifetime. You know, we don't want to face this sometimes, and sometimes we live in a little bubble, but you know, this is going on right around us, people that you probably know that haven't told you. Go ahead, next. These are just some more statistics. You can go to the next one. 17.5% of all children are physically abused. This statistic has risen in the last year or two, and it's just sad to me. Last year alone, I got 3 phone calls that were just devastating to me. A 3-year-old little girl, a 4-year-old little girl, and a 5-year-old little girl who had been sexually abused by someone in the family. And I'm just like, how is this happening? This is getting so much worse than it used to be, or I don't know. But that's why we partner with Mary, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. Go to the next one. This happens before they're 18, and this is just the ones we know about. A lot of them don't tell till they're adults because it's so shameful. I know of people that I've talked to, and you know, they have told me, and they never told anyone. Next. 1 in 5 women, 1 in 71 men will be raped at some time in their lifetime. And boys are getting sexually abused a lot more, and nobody's talking about it. We help men and women because both sexes are being, you know, abused. And so, especially children. So, you know, if you know someone or they are going through something, I just got a phone call this week. Someone with 3 children, 3 adult children, just found out the abuse had been going on when they were children. And Renee, where are you? Renee at the jewelry table. She leads a group that we have called Adult Survivors of Childhood Abuse. And it's a really, really good support group. So for those of you who know somebody who maybe they didn't come out with it until they were an adult, but they're still struggling with something from their past and it's hindering them in their current relationships, we have that group for that. We started that new one. Okay, next. And Mary, I'm gonna let you come speak for a few minutes. I wanted Mary to speak to you because she deals with this on a professional level. We have free support groups, but we're not professional counselors. But she sees it on a professional level every day. So I wanted her to speak a little bit and give you some awareness about what's going on out there.
Thank you. So with sexual abuse, you guys can hear me? First, I want to say that we are offering free mental health to both children, teens, families, adults, up until January. And so free, 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 free. You know anybody, have them call me, 919-585-5085. It's my way of giving back. I can't do it, but I have 3 amazing student interns that will absolutely be able to support anybody in need. So again, it's free, 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 free. I have brochures that I'm going to leave up front. When we talk about sexual abuse, it's so prevalent. Last year, we had, me personally, I had a child that was molested right under a Thanksgiving table. Children don't have voices. I'm passionate about mental health for children. I am the branch president for the entire state of North Carolina for play therapy to ensure that children have a voice. And I have been doing this for 15 years, and in the 15 years, there's only been 2 convictions, 2 sentences. People don't believe children. It's real. And those stats were wrong. I know I gave you some information. So it's 1 in 3 girls, 1 in 4 boys. And 1 in 10 children will be molested before they're 18 years old. And I will say this, children don't disclose. You could talk to your children every single day and think you have this amazing relationship with them. They don't tell. It's rare. And we have research after research that shows that a disclosure is rare. In fact, when I get up on the stand and I have to do a testimony, I have to actually spend time to educate the jury and the attorneys that they don't disclose. So it's rare. But again, we're offering free mental health. Children don't have voices. People don't believe children. Children lie about these amazing relationships with their parent that they want. They lie about having and doing things. Children don't lie about sexual abuse. So that's pretty much all I have. And I'm really happy to partner. And again, we are offering free mental health up until January. I hope I didn't go over my time.
Thank you, Mary. Just the fact, how many people do you know if they needed free mental health counseling, they couldn't afford it or they couldn't get it? She's offering her interns to us for free. So that is just a phenomenal partnership. So please take advantage of that. All right, and thank you so much for that, Mary. Okay, next one. This is actually the slide that she was talking about with her statistics. We have a lot of resources, so if you just want to learn more, maybe you know somebody or something happened to someone you know and you want to share resources, contact her because she can share this stuff with you. It's the Darkness into Light curriculum and some other resources will be really helpful. Next one. Okay, so one thing that we have found out working with people who've been abused, and the reason we help abuse and addiction, a lot of people ask me that question, why do you do both? We have just found that they're so interconnected. Either people who are addicted end up being abused, or they're using because they were addicted, abused at some point in their life, and they may not have even ever told. I know, I can't say too much because I don't want to break confidentiality, but I know 4 or 5 young men that I talked to personally because of someone I know, and all of them had been sexually abused as a child and never told anyone, and that's why they were using drugs. And so we found there's this huge connection between the two, so that's why we try to cover both. Now, we're not a rehab. If somebody needs help, we will get them to a detox. We will get them to a rehab. We will help them get there. We will, when they get out, we'll help them find an Oxford house or supportive housing, and we will help them find jobs. So that's what we do for that part of it. But people who've been abused overall, 85% of them that we have contacted have physical ailments, chronic pain, some kind of illness, PTSD. You know, people think military. When you hear PTSD, they think military. Do you know that domestic violence PTSD is twice as common as the military? But nobody talks about it. But domestic violence survivors, I had PTSD for 5 years. I was not even functioning normally. I was existing. I was trying to just survive. But I had PTSD for 5 years and could not even do a lot of the things I used to be able to do until that kind of got resolved. So these are things that are part of it. The next slide, Jim,
Yes.
you want to say one word quickly? Yes. So we have RPM, neuromuscular therapy. I'll let him just say a word about it. This has helped several people that we've helped with pain and different things.
Right, yeah, so chronic pain is, okay, all right, so keep the microphone, good deal. All right, so first of all, we're really excited to be here and really excited about Deborah and her work. It's amazing. I spent 20 years in ministry in the pastorate, and so have that side of a lot of these issues. Now I work with actually the physical manifestations of trauma in a variety of reasons, but chronic pain right now affects, I think it's like over 40 million American adults. And so with what we do is medical massage therapy, which is different. We work with a lot of times physicians for diagnosed situations, particularly migraines, low back issues, shoulders, any joint. But one of the things that happens when you experience trauma is it's metaphorical, but it's still quite true. We, quote, carry stress in certain places. And then if that is left untreated, then that compounds what's going on with the emotion. So it's a reciprocal, unfortunately, a reciprocal snowball. So the emotional trauma feeds the physical trauma, and then the physical trauma then feeds the emotional trauma. So yeah, I could go on for quite some time, but at any rate, thank you for being here, and thank you for allowing us to be here.
They have a table in the lobby. So he did donate a session back there as well, and they will have a table in the lobby, so you can talk to them afterwards if that's something you're interested in, because it's been life-saving for me personally. But anyway, so we try to help the whole person when we're helping people, not just one aspect. Okay, next. So our vision is to help in all of these areas. Physical, mental, emotional, sexual abuse, any kind of abuse, substance abuse, whatever it is. Go ahead, next. This is how we're helping our community. We do crisis prevention education, so we educate people about how to prevent getting in the same situation again, because that's what happens. Once you're a victim, you tend to repeat that and keep repeating, and it's like, why do I have a target on my head? Why does this keep happening to me? It's because once you're victimized, you carry that with you, and believe it or not, people who are predators can sense that, and you will keep getting victimized again until you learn how to take that off. And that's what we do in our Mending the Soul Abuse Recovery, is teach you how to build that confidence and not carry that with you anymore. Career assistance, we help them find jobs, find out what they want to do. We've helped people get their CNA license, medical assistant, different things like that, real estate license. Supportive housing, legal assistance. We don't do legal assistance, but we try to connect them with attorneys who can help them. Our biggest need there is money, because we haven't found anyone pro bono yet. If there's anyone out there who'd like to do that, we would love that. There's no legal aid for the type of legal help that these women need, especially in custody battles. They throw all the family court together. They don't separate the abuse victims. That's one thing I would love to see done someday, is separate the abuse victims into a different court for custody and family issues, because it's very much needed. Financial support for rent. This is our biggest thing, is keeping them housed, making sure they have a safe place. You're going to hear a little bit about that in a minute. Groceries, cleaning products. We have a little pantry in Deja Vu in my office, and so if you ever want to do a drive and get feminine products or groceries or detergent, deodorant, stuff like that, we keep that in there, and they can come by anytime they need it and get it. So that helps their budget and, saves them a little money. Support groups, healing, one-on-one counseling, and mentorship. So we offer all of this. Go ahead, next. So we have sponsored over 81 total people. Now that means paid their rent, fixed their car, something. We've done something for them. And that was last year. I haven't updated that in probably a year, so it's probably way more than that now. Okay, next. Some of our referral partners that refer people to us. We have social services that refers to us, several police departments and churches. Next one. And then we refer people to other organizations. Now, you say, oh, you help domestic violence victims. Why do you refer people to Interact? Because we don't have a shelter. So if they're in that crisis moment at the time, the best we can do is try to find them a hotel for a little bit, but then we need to get them into a shelter or somewhere, if we can't get them into an apartment for a month, then we have to find somewhere else to put them in that time. So we'll refer them to Interact. And then UNC Healthcare, Wakebrook, we refer a lot of people there for detox if they need it. Wake Tech has helped us with some free classes for some of our people. Raleigh Rescue Mission, TROSA, if somebody needs rehab, that is a free work program. They can go there and live and eat and work, and get clean if they really want to. Dress for Success as well. Next. Okay, Deja Vu, thrift. This is our thrift store. Kirk, over there, and Nathan was over there too, but now I have him over here. And they help run the thrift store. Esther, can you raise your hand? She is our volunteer coordinator for Deja Vu Thrift. Actually, I could not do anything without this woman, believe me. She's like, yes. She is the queen of all things processing. I used to go in the back of the store and look at all the donations and really cry. Like I would cry because not that I couldn't do it, I didn't have time to do it. And so she's taken that off my plate and I don't even know where she puts the stuff. She like maximizes it and it goes in these little places, and she takes care of it and it's just a blessing. And so if you want to volunteer at Deja Vu Thrift, that's who you see. If you want to volunteer for Hope Connection, support groups, anything like that, Julie Crowell, I don't know which one's my right arm, which one's my left arm, but they're my arms right there. And so see her if you want to volunteer for anything support group related or Hope Connection related. Okay, next. Linda Kraft. Okay, you say, okay, I came tonight, but I don't have money. I can't really help you. Here's how you can help. Everyone get out your phones. You're going to nominate and vote for us. Because if we get everyone in this room to vote, we're going to get a few $1,000s. Okay? So go to lindacraft.com/charity-registration. lindacraft.com/charity- is that a forward slash? Okay, /charity-registration. Okay, so did you get there? Anybody need help? lindacraft.com/charity-registration. Okay, so when you get there, it's going to ask for your name and your email. You guys can handle that, right? Then our website is hope-connection.org. hope-connection.org. So you'll fill that in. Contact name is me, Deborah, D-E-B-R-A, Barkett, B-A-R-K-E-T-T. Tell me if you need something repeated.
What's the name?
Charity name is Hope Connection International. Hope Connection International. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped that, and I'm right here. Sorry. Hope Connection International. The charity website is hope-connection.org. Charity contact name is me, Deborah Barkett. And my email is president@hope-connection.org. Hope-connection.org. Hope Connection International is the charity. Hope-connection.org. Connection, no S. .org. So you guys are going to give us lots of votes so we can get some money from them. Contact email is president@hope-connection.org. See, if you tell people to do this and they go home, they're never going to do it. So that's why I said we're going to do it together. President@hope-connection.org.
And if you're the first one to get this done, congratulations, you're in your 20s.
That's a good one. Who needs something repeated? Okay, so let me go through it again. You have your name and email, right? Charity name is Hope Connection International. The website is hope-connection.org. Contact name is Deborah Barkett. Yeah, we'll post this on social media as well. So if you don't get it tonight, don't stress about it. Oh, good idea. Gigi says, let's post this all on social media so you can get more people to vote. Did we overload their system? Oh, good. So you should get an email saying thank you for your nomination. Perfect. All right. Any other questions before we move on? Okay, go ahead next. We have other partners. We have Old Time Junk Hauling, go to the next one. And we also have Raleigh Market. Now, Raleigh Market, we've had to postpone because we need somebody who has a truck or a big SUV that you don't mind stuffing stuff into. And it's on Sunday afternoons. So if that's something you'd like to do, like like to go to flea markets and pick out the stuff that's left over, vendors will leave stuff for us and we can go pick it up. But I can't do everything. So if we have volunteers to do this, we can keep the partnership. If not, we'll have to drop it. Okay, next. Deja Vu furniture pickup. Say you have furniture that you want to donate. We can give you a tax receipt. We can come pick it up. Linda Craft lets us use their truck once or twice a month, and it's always on a Monday, so you can sign up for that. We also have another partner called Resupply, but we're working out some issues with that on the delivery process. Next, and there's our coordinators, Esther and Julie. Okay, next. And these are just pictures of volunteers. You can kind of roll through these, Nathan. We've worked the Duke games, the men's basketball and football. So if you want to just come have fun and volunteer, we work all of those games. That pays for our insurance plus some for the year. And our insurance is a lot, just so you know, to run this organization. We have the Angel Tree at Christmas time. So if you want to help a family, come by our thrift store, you get tax off the tree. And we have specific gifts that the families have picked out. We hang them on the tree. And then we do a little party and we pass them out, and you're welcome. If you bought a gift for that, you can also usually come, if it's not COVID, you can come to the party and watch them open the gift. How do you volunteer? You see Carrie Bloom for the Duke games, and then one of these two ladies for Deja Vu or Hope Connection. Next. Support groups. Our community care center, we have free support groups and classes. Mending the Soul is our biggest one. We have groups going all the time. We have a Teen Girls April. She leads the Teen Girls group, and it's virtual and it's ongoing. And she's done a fabulous job with them, just really poured into their lives. Thank you, April. Another little blurb about April is she went on this big adventure this week and got a lot of these donations for our silent auction. She just went asking and she got a bunch. So thank you, April. Appreciate that. We have a loved ones of addicts group. If you know someone who has a family member struggling with addiction and they're not handling it well, this is a great group for them. Really will help them see that other people are struggling with the same thing. Grief care. Grief and depression can be a result of abuse, or it can, or vice versa. So we have those groups, grief support and depression recovery. Kim, she leads the depression group, and fabulous resource. If you know anyone struggling with that, fabulous resource. Princess Lost, Princess Found is our sex trafficking 101 mentoring program. This is a program, you have to be very strong emotionally if you want to do this, but you can see me and we will personally train you to do it. But I will just say right now, I've trained 5 ladies and only one of them stayed doing it because it is really hard. You have to be emotionally strong because you're going to hear a lot, and you have to be able to really handle that emotionally. So if you can't, then, don't sign up for that. But if you're the type of person you say, I think I could do that, then we do need people to do this one-on-one mentorship with them. We have a program, okay? We have a program, we have a curriculum, and I had a lady write a step-by-step workbook from the book so you have weekly lessons. So we couldn't have made it any easier for you to do it. but it's the emotional, I'm just saying heads up, it's an emotional, it's very emotional. So just make sure you're prepared for that. These are our facilitators, which I think I pointed out. We also have NA meetings on Wednesday nights. Spencer's not here, but he leads those. That's a great group. Setting healthy boundaries is a new group. Becca had to fly out of state, so she can't be here, but she leads that group. She also leads Amending the Soul for Women's group. Next. Oh, it's Abby. Your turn. Evadne is one of our Women's Mending the Soul facilitators, and she's always here for me when I need something. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Evadne, and I want to thank Deborah first for letting me come up here and relay and validate the Mending of the Souls group. I helped out with a couple of the groups. One of them was quite a while ago, and I can stand here and proclaim what a difference those classes make to the attendees. I stay in contact with a couple of the women from the first group, and that was quite a while ago. And I remember when they came into the classes, they were broken women with heavy burdens, and quite frankly, they couldn't see the end of the road. And we all like happy endings, and I want to tell you that there is a happy ending for one of the ladies from that group. She found a lovely man, remarried. I went to the wedding, and she's happy. She's with a man that adores her, treats her well, and it's very good to see. And anyway, she came to Mending the Souls because of her first husband, and now seeing her, she's just a different person. So fast forward to the group I'm currently leading with incredible women. I call them warriors. They've all survived a lot. And it's eye-opening to see the transformation from the beginning of the class to now. We started with doubt and anger, mistrust, lack of knowing. Now there's actually smiles and jokes and laughing. So from the time we started, the transformation is huge. And I can end those sessions feeling gratification when there are comments made like, I realize now it wasn't my fault. I feel that there actually are good people in the world, and it's nice to come to a place where I'm understood. We can't solve all the problems that are brought to the table at the Mending the Souls, but I'm confident that each person that sits in the session feels comfort knowing there are others with the same hurts and circumstances, experiences, and they'll be understood and listened to. No one's judged, and no one's discredited. MTS is a safe place to come to share and gain strength and hope. I'm honored to help this organization and appreciate the efforts that are taken by Deborah and all the volunteers to place victims in safe places and give them the tools to move forward and onward into a healthy environment. You know, God wants us to take our hurts and make good of them. And that's what each one of us do that lead the various groups, and that's what we're doing. It's 1 Thessalonians 2:8 actually says, we cared so deeply that we were delighted to share with you not only the gospel of a God, but our own lives as well. That's how beloved you have become to us. I have a list that I pray every morning, and honestly, I put Hope Connection on that list, and I pray every morning that they are able to continue and flourish so that they can help anyone that reaches out. With all of us doing and giving even a little, whether it's volunteering your time or giving monetarily, we can continue to spread that hope. Thank you.
If it weren't for people like Evadne leading the groups, this was the first semester that I did not have to lead one of the groups personally. We have so many women trained now who are leading. Cheryl, raise your hand. She's leading. Evadne. Diane Hoffmeister, Becca, Desiree. So we have like multiple people leading the Mending the Soul groups right now. And then April does the teen girls. So the more we can do, we don't like the groups to get bigger than 5 or 6 people because then they don't have time to share. And they really need to share and really get their issues out. So, you know, it's really critical that we have people who volunteer their time like this. So thank you so much. Okay, next. This is our victim sponsorship program. And like I said, I know the board cringes because I way overspend in this department. I'm sorry, Greg. But I say no so much. You don't know how many times I have to say no. And so when I can say yes, I want to say yes, but we always vet the people we help. We don't just hand out. So they have to show us pay stubs, they have to show us what they're doing, they have to meet certain requirements, and then we'll help them, and then they have to do other things, and then we'll help them. And we keep that process going. And as long as they're staying on the program and doing what they're supposed to do, then we continue to help them. But so when you give as a donor, we don't take that lightly because, you know, we're not going to just give that money out to somebody unless, you know, they deceive us, which has happened a couple times. But, you know, we try to help people if we can. So this is our sponsorship program. It's such a blessing. You would not believe the lives changed because of this. Next. Cheryl, this is your family. Okay, next. Now, these are the current needs that we have. I'm going to tell you these, and then I'm going to hand it over to Deja's going to be first in just a minute to speak. But we have 2 women without cars right now. Now, if you've ever tried to work a job without a vehicle, one, she had a car, we just got it all renewed, registered, everything was great, and somebody hit her, it was their fault, totaled it, and the insurance only covered paying off her old car, they wouldn't get a new car. So we're trying to find a new car for her. So it's a desperate need. And it's not, I mean, it's gonna take probably $3,000 or more to get a decent used car, and that, who knows what you're getting really, even then. So that's one need, and then we have another need for a car that we did get for somebody, and the engine blew in it. So now we have to find another one. So, you know, that's what you get sometimes when you only spend $2,000 on a car. But we tried to get it repaired, and the mechanic said, I'm not taking any more of your money. You need to, you know, probably trade this and get something else. So we do have a really good opportunity to get a replacement car with this, with a Honda dealer who's trying to fix it. They'll take a trade-in and give us a really good deal. So if we can raise that money, we can trade it in, you know, and do that for her. But this is a huge, huge ask, and it's a huge need right now because if they don't have a car, for them to Uber or Lyft back and forth to work takes half their paycheck, you know? And if they have to pay somebody for gas to get back and forth to work, you know, right now it's costing a lot as well. So we do give out gas cards, but now, you know, we've maxed out with that. We're giving out double than we were before because of the gas prices. So anything that we can do to help these women get into cars would be really appreciated. If you have a car that runs and you haven't used and you want to donate it, we can give you a tax receipt. You know, we would be more than grateful. We also need a washer and dryer. This is a group of guys in recovery. They all got into a house and they need a washer and dryer. So if you know anybody that has one, we do need that. And then the next slide. A career assistance need. You're going to hear from Deja. We have helped her start her own LLC. She has a story, I'll let her tell it. But she has started her own LLC, the Walk For Me sweatshirts and t-shirts. If you buy those are supporting her. And she's trying to start this coaching ministry, whatever, and she'll tell you a little bit more about it, to help young girls that were in her situation, and she really wants to help youth to prevent them from getting where she ended up. So Deja, you want to come? And I've known Deja a very long time, Kind of like the daughter I never had.
Okay, hi everybody. Can everybody hear me? I get a lot of times people tell me, okay, can everybody hear me? No? A little louder, better? I talk really low, so even if I do get loud and if you guys can't hear me, you guys gonna have to work with me, please. My name is Deja. It's been what, since 2017, maybe? Ooh, I do not know where to start, so I'm just gonna read because it will help me out. But I do want to start off by at least saying that I can relate to a lot of the assistance that Hope Connection provide. 20. Thank you. 2017. Yep. So I can relate to a lot of the assistance, the help, the support, and a lot of it. I would say like maybe 95. I haven't got a house yet, but I think that'd be like the biggest thing, a goal in the future to kind of get my boys in a home and stuff like that. So, when I first started with Hope Connection, I was coming out of an abusive marriage with 3 kids. I am a boy mom. I was actually getting emotional because one of the fishes had my boys up there, and I was like, you know, to see them now and to know where we came from and where we started, it's extremely emotional. So if I get emotional, work with me, please. So when I first separated, I had to leave everything. I was working and I was going to school. I had to stop everything. I pretty much ran out the door when I seen the door open. And that took a lot for me to actually be able to get up and walk away and not look back. But it has definitely been a journey for me. Let's see. I am struggling right now because it's one thing to kind of go through something and talk about it, but it's another to like come out of something and actually have to go back. And I'm not saying I have to go back, but to be able to talk about my journey and my experience is extremely hard for me because I have been through what God needed me to go through. So I can't say, like I said, just being able to have the support and not having the support, not having a family to actually be able to help me during my transition, especially with separating. Like I said, I didn't have a car when I first started. You know, people do stuff, so I didn't have one. So that was really hard for me to continue with school. You know, be a mom, do what I need to do. My kids was going through a whole lot emotionally with school, so of course I had to be more home than at work. So there was a lot of losing jobs, getting jobs, losing jobs, getting jobs. So that was something for me. It's been, I think the 30th of May, made it a whole year since I've been back in North Carolina, and I feel good to be back because I am definitely not going through what I was going through, so that's a plus, but it's still a lot for me mentally and emotionally to kind of be here. But I'm thankful that I am. I honestly just kind of want to just thank Hope Nation for absolutely everything that you guys have done for me and my boys. But I'm not going to say the last couple of years has been horrible because it definitely haven't, and being around other people that been through what I've been through, I hear a lot of stories, and I can say it could have definitely been worse, but it's definitely been a journey for me. So I just want to say thank you guys for absolutely everything you guys do for me because it definitely don't go unnoticed. And I thank you for the classes. I thank you for the support. I thank you for every single time you answer the phone. I thank everyone that know me, that I can't seem to remember faces and names, but I thank you guys for loving on me and reaching out to me. And I get the messages, the heys, the highs. You look different every time I see you. But I think absolutely everybody. So I just want to make this more of a thank you thing. But I can't say that I look forward to be around to at least be in a better place to be able to help other young girls, women, older, however, be able to overcome a lot of things. And as I work now, and since I've been back, I have met so many people that's just been so broken in so many different ways, and it definitely just made me be a lot more appreciative of the people that I have in my life that helped me through that transition. Because at the beginning, I was so in denial about what I was going through because I didn't understand it. I always looked at abuse to make me weak, and just honestly having somebody tell you that you're in a domestic violence situation, coming from where I'm coming from, is just like, yeah, no. So it's been more mentally and emotionally for me to kind of accept my situation, but I have accepted. Being away helped me a whole lot. It was a lot of crying, but it helped me, and I feel so much better. Walk for me is something that I'm still allowing God to work on me with, but the slogan is the walk for me, and since I've been back, that's all I've been hearing. So I'm like, okay, God, I hear you. It's the walk for me, the process. I know what I've been through. I know what's needed. Especially for experiencing what I've experienced and having the right people in my life to kind of help me and help me understand that I am not the only person, and that I have more help than what I think if I just open my mouth and let people know what's going on. So that has helped me a lot. But Walk for me is the brand name, and for a couple of months I was struggling with what exactly walk for me. I'm like, okay, but God showed me that He want me to walk for Him. So my biggest thing within the last year is being able to be stable in so many different ways, to be able to give me and my boys what we deserve. I'm also an author, so I have been writing books. I have to let my whole series go because I took the time that I was away, and I just stopped everything that I was doing just to focus on it. But I am working on that as we speak. But Walk For Me, I definitely want to make it more so for business people, like mothers that is struggling with getting back on their feet. I dealt with a lot verbally with people telling me that I'm not capable of what I would never be or never do. So for me to be back, my biggest thing for me, not because of what they said, but for me, it's just been to be in a better place. So Walk For Me, I want to be able to help get in a better place first, and then I want to be able to pretty much help other women get in a better place, stay in a better place, especially when it comes down to business wise. So helping them identify what it is that they desire to do, and then utilizing the connections that I have as far as what I do out in work. So just being able to utilize those connections and putting the right people in place so that mothers or anyone won't feel as if they don't have the support or the people that they need to do exactly what they want to do. So I love helping people. I love helping people build their brands. I love helping people establish a lot of things, especially when it's for them and it's something that they feel strong about. So that is my fight, and I'm going to be obedient. But I just want to say thank you so much, Miss Deborah, for absolutely everything that you do and that you have done for me, because I will say that I just really don't know where I would have been if I would have never just heard you and listened to you and sat still long enough to actually understand where I am. But I am so thank you, and I'm thankful, but I don't know what else to say outside of thanking. So I'm just, thank you.
Love this girl. Boy, if you just knew everything, it's just amazing. When you have 3 kids, think about this. If one of them gets a fever and they can't go to daycare and you can't go to work because you got to stay home with them, you miss a week of work. When you have 3 kids and then they all get it, guess what happens? You go 3 weeks without income. This is what we deal with on a regular basis because she has no child support. She's made some really good decisions so that she wouldn't be controlled and manipulated. And so we're glad to support her with that. But I'm just really proud of her. And this Walk For Me is going to be a ministry that she's going to be coaching women in this with. And so we're trying to help her start that. The life coach course that she wants to take is $1,000. So, that's another ask that we're trying to do. There was another girl that was supposed to be here tonight. She texted me and her car broke down. I don't know what it is with cars, but she wanted me to read her story real quick. It's just a very short one. She's one of our newer members, and she says, "Hello, I will keep my name anonymous, but I am one of many young domestic violence victims who have no support system, and I'm struggling to find a place to call home." Right now, she's in a hotel. People wonder why women go back to abusive relationships, so let me share some of the hardships since leaving my abusive relationship and becoming homeless with my now 11-month-old son so that you can understand my struggle. Hope Connection referred me to another local agency who has been able to help me secure temporary housing through an extended hotel stay. However, it has been an extremely dangerous environment. From being harassed in parking lots to seeing drug addicts and heavy users right around the hotel, and many violent altercations have occurred where police were called. Someone was arrested for attempted murder right next door to our room. I do not feel safe at all, and the constant yelling, screaming, fighting among the other tenants has really aggravated my PTSD, and it's triggered issues for me regarding anxiety, not to mention the constant filth present everywhere in the environment. Hope Connection has a vision to provide temporary housing for women like me. Anything you can do to help them reach this goal will be greatly appreciated by women like us. I am unable to secure more than 25 hours a week of work due to restrictions with the Early Head Start program in which my son is enrolled. And I don't know if you guys know that, but the Early Head Start, they only will watch their child for 25 hours a week so they can work. That's not enough to support yourself. I can work a job without daycare, and additional daycare costs are almost as much as the wages I would earn. It has been more than difficult to get back on my feet and find housing in an area that is clean and safe for myself and my young child. So this is somebody we're trying to help find housing. Hope Connections, mending the soul support group for abuse survivors, has been critical in my healing process and has helped me find the strength and hope to make a new start. Please help in whatever way you can. So she emailed that to me and wanted me to read it. Dana, you ready? Dana's taller than me, so I want to make this go up higher. And Dana is going to share a little bit. We just want you to get a full picture of the people we help and what we do.
Thank you. Okay, is that okay? Can you hear me? A little closer? Okay. This is something I wrote out and you were helping with it. I finally had enough. I had been in a physical, emotional, and financial abusive relationship for more than 12 years. I packed 3 bags and moved 900 miles and came to Raleigh. So sorry. All I had was my driver's license, my social security card, and less than $10 to my name. I found a part-time job and then another part-time job. Finding a place to live was next. But apartments are expensive here. I rented a room with a lock on my door in a really dangerous neighborhood. This week they had a shooting in that very house. It's all I could afford. The people I live with stole my food, my clothes, and money, and I'm back in an abusive relationship, only with different faces. I thought this time would be different. Should I go back? I know he'd take me back, but there'd be consequences. I had done that before, being stranded alone, and then always ended up back where I started. The simplest necessities are not easily accessible and sometimes expensive. Trying to find a job, dependable transportation, safe housing, when you're all alone with no financial support is challenging. That's when the discouragement takes over. This time is different though. I found Hope Connection, where I was given the opportunity to take some self-help classes, participate in some support groups where I could talk to others that had been through and were still going through what I was going through. I started the process of abuse recovery and starting over. Hope Connections providing food, clothing, counseling, transportation, and friendship. I have now turned my part-time job into one full-time position. Hope Connection helped me get into a room where I'm safe, but I don't need a lock on my door. The next step, no pun intended, is transportation. You saw me up there earlier, my car is now down. If you depend on a bus line, you could add 2 to 3 hours to your 8-hour workday. And Hope Connection helped me get a used car. They have helped with repairs for that car. But try to find a trustworthy, reliable mechanic is a never-ending journey, and one that we're still trying. I have been away from an abusive relationship for over 2 years. I haven't had contact with my abuser for over a year. I live in a healthy environment where I feel safe. My friends, family, including my new grandbaby, can come and visit me anytime. Without the guidance, encouragement, support from home, connection, I might have gone back. Would I have even been able to meet my granddaughter? I will be forever grateful for your donations to Hope Connection. Without your generosity, they would not have been able to help me start my life over, and Hope Connections literally may have saved my life. As they will with the next survivor who says, I finally had enough. Thank you.
If anybody wonders why I'm so driven, I'm sorry, that's why, right there. One last one. Michelle, are you ready? This is our last story, so you can get the Kleenex out. But this should give you a really good idea of like the people that we help, what we do, what they're going through, and where your money goes when you do give.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Okay. Many of you guys do know me. My name is Michelle, 29 years old. I'm the youngest of 9 children, all which were scattered throughout the foster system. Shortly after I aged out of the system, I met my first trafficker. Less than 3 months after I escaped her, I met my second trafficker. It's not uncommon for girls who grew up in the system to, just put it this way, over 60% of girls who are trafficked, or sorry, that were in the system are trafficked. Because of the things that I went through, I wasn't able to learn basic life skills like cooking or communicating well with others, finances. And then 2 years ago, I found out about an incredible organization through a church that makes referrals to organizations who offer help for men and women like me who came from dysfunctional families. I now have free access to support groups, Bible studies, mentoring classes, and other classes that bring healing, therapy for people like us who can't afford it, all through Hope Connection. 6 months ago, I took an internship working at a house in Charlotte. In that house, there were 5 other trafficking survivors, and all I wanted to do was help, but recognizing that I still needed help myself. That was humbling. My environment quickly became very unsafe for me to be around, so I packed up what I could, trash bags, and the car that I had, and came back to Raleigh, contacted Deborah. So I was jobless, homeless, and I just had my car. Hope Connection has provided help with housing for me, with food and with transportation, like gas cards, which are extremely helpful, very helpful. Today, because of Deborah and a heart to serve other people, I went from being homeless to having my own place. Before that, I was in a house with 3-4 roommates, paying twice as much as what I'm paying now, barely being able to make it for myself, and still back and forth between sleeping with men and different things like that. So when I left everything that I had to go to Charlotte and ended up having to come back here, it was really disappointing, and I was honestly ashamed. Because I wanted to help, and then I came back with nothing. And I was ashamed to ask Deborah for help because I wanted to do things my way. Again, very humbling, so thank you. Um, it's one thing to say that someone can change your life, and it's another when the action follows. I'm still learning and growing and healing. Faith is the thing hoped for, but not yet seen. I not only have faith through Hope Connection, but I've seen and felt the love of God through the people here. There are times where I'm at my lowest point, and I wonder, can I really do this? And Hope Connection comes behind me and says, yes, we can. And I don't ever feel like I'm alone with them there. I have an incredible support group that I'm a part of. I am beyond grateful. I'm beyond grateful. You guys have been a family to me when I haven't had any. So I really appreciate your time and for allowing me to share with you guys.
Okay, if you didn't get touched tonight by these stories, then I think you don't have a heart, because these women are just precious. It can happen to anybody. People are like, oh, how could you ever get in an abusive situation? I was raised in a great home. My mom is here. And my parents have been married over 60 years. And my dad was a preacher, had a great upbringing. And I went to Bible college, married somebody who's going to be a preacher, and found out the very first night that, whoa, this is not who I thought I married. And I was like, what happened? What is this? I never had seen anyone act this way or do the things that he did. And it was just so, I was so naive and I was so ignorant of evil, I guess. And this was pure evil, and it was pure deception. I always thought if you are trying to raise your children in a sheltered environment, one piece of advice I would give you is expose them to evil under your guidance so they know about it. Because I used to think somebody that was evil looked evil. That is not true. If I showed you a picture of a really charming person, that might be evil, but it might be good. You don't know. You have to look at the character. You have to look at the heart. You have to ask God for discernment. That's why I started Hope Connection. I want to prevent other women from having to go through what I went through. And God, I wanted to ask him to help me turn my hurt into healing and help others, come out of that pit, because we're survivors. Some people say, why do you call them victim sponsorships? Because they are victims. They have been victimized. They're going to be survivors, but some of them aren't there yet. So, we try to get them there. We try to help them get there. But to be a survivor, we have to help them become independent financially, emotionally, where they can stand on their own. Otherwise, they're going to get sucked right back into, the comfortable pattern that was there. What's the next one? So these are some of our social media websites. If you go on Facebook, you can look up Hope Connection International. If you go on Instagram, it's HCI.org. And Twitter is HCI.org. So you can always, just look us up. You should be able to find us. Deja Vu Thrift as well, you can look up. Next one. Okay, so we've had a big, what do you call it? Surprise. The South Coast property is where we are located, our community care center and our thrift store. Our landlords sold this property this past year. We have new landlords, and they are planning to tear down the entire 50 acres there. All the small businesses that are there will have to relocate. They're going to build a big sports arena, if you've seen the articles about it in Cary magazines and Cary articles. So some people say we have 3 to 4 years. I'm talking to people in town of Cary that say that they've already applied for the demolition permits, which means I'm thinking we have 1 to 2 years. We have to raise, we have this wonderful opportunity. I can't say too much about it because it's still in process. We have a development company who has put a contract on a piece of property, and they're gonna develop it at some point, but they're gonna cut us out a few acres and let us buy the part that we want, which is prime, would normally cost 3 times as much as they're asking us to pay. So we're trying to raise $400,000 and we can relocate everything and have a future in a couple of years to possibly build a temporary shelter there as well. There's room and there's resources to do that. Once we get property, I have 2 grants that I can write that we can provide the housing that we need, but we have to have the property first. So this next year, this is our biggest need while we're still trying to help people. We have raised $75,000, which is no small feat for a small organization like ours. We need to raise $325,000 more by December, if at all possible. So it may get pushed out a little bit more than that, and we may get a little extension on that, but that's what our goal is. If we can do that and pay for this property, then we will be able to move Hope Connection immediately to the property. And then there's room there to build our thrift store, so we can use the property as collateral to get a loan. No one wants to loan a nonprofit money, by the way, and not until you have a certain amount of income per month. And, so to get a loan of any size, like we would need, unless you know somebody who wants to give us a very low interest loan, we would be open to that. But if we get this property, we can use the property as collateral to then build a thrift store on it. And then 2 years down the road, maybe even sooner, we can do more. So this is our, it's a GoFundMe fundraiser, but you can just go to the website and donate to and just put property. And anything that comes in designated for that, we put in our savings account for that. But this is going to be our biggest need that we really need to do in the next year. I really don't know what we're going to do if we can't do this. So this is kind of where we are. The property's been sold and we don't know how long we have. We're on a month-to-month with a 90-day evacuation notice. So they could come at any point and say, you have to get out in 90 days and then you have to move somewhere. So I know God's got this. He didn't start this to let it just go, so I know he's got this, but we do really need help. If you know people, you say, what can I do? I don't have a lot of money. You know people, there are people that you can ask. If each one of you in here would ask 5 people to become a recurring donor, even for just $10 a month. Do you know how much money that would be to help our cause? So just ask 5 people. Can you give $10 a month? Can you sign up on our website? Believe it or not, that really does a lot. If you're a state employee and you can give 10, 25, they double it. We get double that. We have 2 state employee people who are donating $100 a month right now. We get $200 a month. That is fabulous. Like, it's just, it's so helpful for us, especially when we're trying to help women get cars and housing and things like that. So anything you could do, there's a pledge card on your table. If you can grab them and there's pins there, and you can just take it with you if you'd like. Or when you're leaving, you can put it on the front table out front. And just if you think, okay, I'm going to start doing $10 a month, or some of you already are, so thank you. If you can do anything, or you say, hey, I can't give monetarily, but I'm going to pray for you, write that on there. That really is encouraging to us. If there's something that you can do, just write it on the pledge card and just put it on the table out front. And Deborah Hussey, thank you. You can collect them at the end. So did Evelyn give you the list? Is there another slide, or is that it? That's it, okay. So passing it off to Greg. Tied for silent auction winner.
Thank you, Deborah. My favorite word is no. Deborah asks, and I say no, and I make her prove it to me. And tonight, now I understand why she overspends our budget all the time. But what that means is we just need to grow the budget. We need help. Deborah is so passionate about what she's doing with Hope Connection. and she's helped so many people, but she could do so much more. And we need to get this message out. Please. You know, we raised over $2,000 tonight just in the silent auction. I gotta applaud you all for that. Yeah. Okay. When you win something, you can go to the table over here and they will take your money. It starts with me. I won 4 rounds of golf at Pine Hollow. It's a bargain. And then Ben Weston, you won the other one. The griller basket goes to Nicole Reeves. Is that right? Nicole? Where you at, Nicole? Did I say that right? Nicole? Okay. Oh, here's a great one. Garden basket. Deborah's mom won this. Now, I gotta tell you, she does not want this garden basket. She does not want it. Okay? She did it to help her daughter. So if anybody wants the garden basket, I think she'll probably let it go for a little bit, just anything. Am I right, Gail? Oh. The cook and baker basket goes to Deborah's sister Julie. Yeah, Julie, you got to pay. You don't go yet. You got a lot of stuff to pay. The beach basket goes to my wife Barb. I had to give Deborah's sister a sob story to keep her mouth bitten. My wife on that. The stun gun goes to is it Chanta Lang. Louis Vuitton purse goes to Kristen. The Advanced Auto Parts cleaning bucket, Taylor Duffy. The Gratitude Journal, Kim Fullerton. Time to Heal Journal goes to Mary. The I Am Journal goes to Sue Milligan. Oh, here's a good one. I wish I'd have seen this one, because I would have bid on this. My wife would have killed me, though. 1 dozen cupcakes. Terry Woodall. Over the Moon Play gift certificate, Taylor Duffy. Bob Herrick, you won the Capri Flavors Wooden Gift Box, pasta, wine. All right. Belly dancing lessons. Who would have thought? Julie. No, Julie Crowell. Wrong, Julie. There you go. There you go. Beach condo vacation. Wow, what a deal. What a steal. Gabriella Brooks, beach condo. Sorry. Somebody got outbid the last minute, I guess. Gabriella Brooks. The electric guitar, Julie. Andia's ice cream gift certificate, Chantalang. I don't understand this one. My wife bid on the smoker-friendly basket of smoke shop items and won. Actually, it's CBD oil, and she makes lotions and stuff and uses that in her lotions. It's really good stuff. Safety, right? The K Jewelers jewelry goes to Jim Moretz. Thank you, Jim. You get some
You
tips
took that
for
one from
us.
me. Congratulations, sir.
60-minute body work goes to Milligan. And that is it for the silent auction items. I really want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I say this every year, or every time we have this, it's not every year, this was 6 months ago. We need more people here. The more people we get, the more money we're going to make to help Deborah and Hope Connection. And thank you all for coming.
Thank you so much. And you can get, if you got golf tickets, Kirk, the gift cards and stuff are in a folder underneath that stack for the golf tickets and for the gift cards. You find them? Okay. So make sure you get your stuff before you leave. If you can help clean up, if you have a car that can follow Kirk back to Hope Connection, see me, because we're going to line up out front and we're going to start taking all the decorations and boxing and bagging them up, and we're going to meet out front and follow him to Hope Connection and stack them all there.
Thank you again. We'll see you, when are we doing this again, Deborah? Next March, we'll do this again.